He calls himself a cricket nomad, a South African who's spent the past few years in snowy Ukraine. But now the country's Cricket Federation CEO Kobus Olivier finds himself searching for safety from Russia's invasion of Kyiv. And he's not alone with his 4 dogs in tow. The Newslink team's been struggling to get in touch with him as the conflict intensifies in that part of the world. But we're happy to report we have Kobus on the line right now. Kobus, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. The entire team worried about your well-being. How are you doing, and where do you find yourself right now? Are you still boarded up in your apartment in Kyiv?
Yeah, no. I managed to get out. Good morning, first of all. Good morning. I'm one of the very fortunate ones, I believe, that managed to get out of Kyiv yesterday. Through friends of mine in Ukraine, they managed to find a guy that had a car with a driver. So I just paid him cash, and he brought me and all 4 of my dogs out to it's in the west of Ukraine, west of Lviv, and very close to the, well, not very close, but I think about 2 hours, I could be wrong, to the Hungarian border. And a school here in this little town has, I'm director of a school in Kyiv, and the owner of my school knows the director of this school in Ivanko Franciski, I think I pronounced it right. And he contacted this director of the school, and they've converted a little alternative school here, 36 children. It's an old Soviet Union style, almost like an apartment block that's now a school, 3 stories up. And they've got 15 other refugees here from Kharkiv. They all work for the same IT company. They took a bus out of Kharkiv, so it's about 4 families, children, the grandmother, they're all here. And it's like almost a little community. And in the school, old building they've done for us, the kitchen, 2 bathrooms, we're on all the floors. And at the top, there's like a little attic room. And the director of the school put myself and my dogs in here. So you can probably see behind me, we've got our own little room here. I don't know if you can see much, but we're here in this room now, safe for now, probably as far out of Kyiv as you possibly could get. So we all okay for now. Thank you. And in good spirits.
We are really glad that you're safe, and I can even see a smile on your face. So that makes us very happy. Kobus, talk to me about the experience in Kyiv. I think you were there as explosions started in and around the city. What was that experience like?
You know, you see it in movies and all that, and you know, but when it actually happens, you can't believe it's true. The first night when it started, those first explosions, I was walking my dogs on the first day that it started at 4 in the morning outside my apartment block, and I heard about 19 huge explosions. So I knew it started, and the war started, and I rushed inside with my dogs. We were locked in there in my apartment for 3 days. We couldn't go out at all. There was and sporadically, right throughout the night, throughout the day, and you heard explosions. And then the day before, I lost track of time a bit, but before I left Kyiv that night, there was one huge explosion very close to my building, and it was just going on sporadically. And then the sirens would go off, and every 3-4 hours, you know, throughout the night, and then everybody had to go into the shelters, into the subway. So it was very unreal, but in a way very real. So yes, it was quite a stressful 3 days in Kyiv, I must say. And the supermarkets were running out of food. They allowed us out the one day for about 4 hours. They broke the curfew, and everybody was allowed out to go to supermarkets and get some food. The lines, I mean, I queued for more than an hour, and there were a lot of people still behind me. And when I got inside, and it's a big supermarket chain, and it's like Silpo it's called Silpo. It's like Tesco in the UK. The shelves were empty. There was no bread, no milk. So people were grabbing chocolates, anything they could that was still on the shelves. So they were running out of food. And then they had the curfew on again. And then yesterday, so we were in the apartment again, I blocked the windows, barricaded up with mattresses, and we slept in the bathroom on a little single mattress on the floor, me and the dogs. That's the safest place. I've got a studio apartment, so we were in that bathroom for 2.5 days. And then luckily yesterday they had this corridor to get people out, and it was unbelievable coming out here. My driver was very smart. There's the big main road going to Lviv, and that were just absolutely bumper to bumper out of Kyiv. We would have taken 2 days to get to Lviv. So he went to a side road and he went through completely off the beaten track through little villages. And even on these little roads, about every 2 kilometers, we had roadblocks where the Russian soldiers, Ukrainian military has put up checkpoints, the reservists, sandbags, where they stop you, and then we had to show your ID, and we went through those, and then eventually we got to where we now, and it took us 10 hours in the car with almost no traffic on that road. So it's a really, people are just all trying to get out now. Everyone knows you have to get out of Kyiv.
Yeah, Kobus, why have you decided to stay in the Ukraine? I mean, you're still in the country, far away from Kyiv, but many foreigners have decided to get out of there altogether. Why have you decided to stay?
Yeah, I've got the 4 little dogs. They're very much my family, and it's impossible to get them out at this stage at the borders. I checked on the Polish border yesterday. The other South Africans that I know went through yesterday. Ukrainians aren't allowed to pass. There's a certain point where your driver have to stop, and then you have to walk 5 kilometers. Now, my 4 dogs, they're not used to walking on leashes. I walk at 4, 5 in the morning. They run freely. There's no people. So it's just not possible to get them to walk 5 kilometers in queues of people. They'll be completely terrified. So it's not really an option for me at this stage. I'll never leave my dogs. So it's no option to leave Ukraine. So I'm trying to move around here. If it gets quite hot here, I'll probably try to get to the Carpathian Mountains, which is about 4 hours from here. I'll get a driver again, go to Carpathian Mountain. It's beautiful. It's in the mountains, very little chalets in the mountain, and that's. So I'll try and get something there. That's my plan A, if this gets dangerous here. And then, and secondly, also the cricket. I've put in so much effort here for the past 3 years. I've really built up a junior grassroots level development program with the kids. I feel I just can't leave that. And then the children at my school, children, parents, they've become my family here, where I'm director. It's an amazing school. It's like 190 kids, and we're so close. It's like family. Yeah. And I just feel I can't really leave them all and just go out. So it's 3 reasons really why I will stay as well. I'm not really planning to go out unless they throw me out. But that's why I'm staying here, yes.